Long, long ago, in the land of Teso, there lived a man named Adeke. Blessed with 6 daughters, his eldest Asio was a sight for sore eyes. Following her were Amungin, Aulem, Aurem, Aitamong, and the youngest Adeke, who was named thus because she bore the cross of leprosy. Love blossomed like wildflowers when Asio fell for a young man named Osabangor. She planned a visit to his home, gathering her sisters for the journey but leaving Adeke out in the cold, not wanting to be ashamed by her sister's illness. Determined not to be left behind, Adeke followed her sisters at a distance, as quiet as a mouse. When the girls neared Osabangor's home, they tidied themselves up like cats preening their fur. That's when Adeke made her presence known. Much to Asio's fury, anger flared up like a wildfire, and Asio demanded Adeke return home. However, Aulem, with a heart of gold, pleaded for her to stay, reasoning that it was too late to send her back alone. Reluctantly, Asio agreed, and they entered Osabangor's home, where he welcomed them with open arms. After a hearty meal, Adeke wandered outside and stumbled upon a granary. Curiosity killed the cat, as they say, and what she saw inside made her heart race like a runaway horse. Human heads piled up like green trophies. Rushing back to her sisters, Adeke shared her gruesome discovery. Asio snapped, "Didn't I tell you about this girl?" However, Aulem, ever the peacemaker, told her to sit tight and not to venture out again. Night fell, and while others slept like logs, Adeke lay wide awake, her mind a whirlwind of fear. She heard Osabangor sharpening his panga, the sound sending chills down her spine. She screamed, claiming her toes hurt. To placate her, Osabangor gave her the panga, which she tucked under her head. Pretending to sleep, she soon heard him sharpening an axe. Another scream, another excuse. This time, she needed water from the lake, drawn with a woven tray. As Osabangor ran to the lake, Adeke seized the moment, waking her sisters and telling them of their peril. Like the wind, they fled into the night. At the lake, Osabangor struggled to fetch water with the tray, ending up with a mouthful of tadpoles and mudfish. Suddenly, his cock crowed thrice, sounding the alarm. Realizing the girls were escaping, Osabangor abandoned the lake and took off after them, as fast as his legs could carry him. Meanwhile, the girls ran into a frog, who asked what had them running like scared rabbits. Hearing their tale, the frog, with a heart as big as all the outdoors, swallowed them whole and hid them within. When Osabangor caught up and questioned the frog, it played dumb, saying, "I'm just eating my leaves." The frog continued its journey, but Osabangor was not convinced. He found the frog again by the river, drinking water on a rock. This time, the frog agreed to helping the girls and hid beneath the rock. So Osabangor enlisted an elephant to break the rock where the frog hid. But the elephant's tusk weakened as it tried to break the rock, and in a fit of rage, it started chasing Osabangor away. Seizing the opportunity, the frog hightailed it through the bushes, hopping tirelessly for weeks until it finally reached the girls' home. When it arrived, Adeke's family was knee-deep in mourning. Convinced his daughters had kicked the bucket, his wives, caught up in their daily grind, were scattering hot ashes with nary a second thought, treating the frog as just another bump in the road. When it was the first wife's turn, she finally noticed the frog and asked, "What are you doing here?" The frog replied, "Go ahead and pour your ashes on me, as my presence didn't stop your co-wives from doing so." The frog asked for Adeke, so the wife hurried back to the house, her heart pounding like a drum to call him, "Husband, there's someone outside calling for you," she said breathlessly. Without batting an eye, Adeke rushed out to see what was going on. When he met the frog, it croaked a request for drinking water. They obliged, and after quenching its thirst, the frog asked for a leaf. They said they laid one out, and to everyone's astonishment, the frog began to regurgitate the girls. The first to emerge was Adeke, who had previously been afflicted with leprosy, now her skin glowing like polished ebony under the sun, her eyes sparkled with life, and her beauty was breathtaking. She landed with a joyful ululation, her voice ringing out, "We have all survived! We have all survived!" As the people beheld the miraculous sight of the girls emerging from the frog's mouth, their sorrow melted away like morning mist under the rising sun. The morning ceremony swiftly transformed into a joyous celebration. Drums began to beat a lively rhythm, and elation of joy filled the air, echoing through the village like a jubilant chorus. The frog, now regarded as a hero, was honored with a sumptuous meal fit for royalty. Platters of roasted meat, freshly prepared millet, and a variety of richly spiced vegetables were laid before it. A feast made from the finest ingredients the village could offer. Traditional beer, brewed from sorghum, flowed freely, and the sweet, earthly aroma of cooking mingled with the scent of blooming flowers that adorned the gathering. Adeke, overwhelmed with gratitude, approached the frog. "You have brought my daughters back from the brink of death and restored hope to our hearts. We are forever in your debt." As the celebration continued into the night, the villagers danced around a roaring bonfire, their spirit lifted and their hearts filled with joy. The frog, basking in the warmth of the fire and the affection of the people, knew the journey had brought healing and happiness to the village. Adeke, once afflicted with leprosy, now stood among them, her beauty radiating under the moonlight. Her transformation was a symbol of hope and renewal, a testament of the miraculous events that had unfolded. With laughter and song,